So I know that we're trying to test our soil right now, right? So we're trying to figure out our pH test. And so right here, I already have my soil already. So this is what it looks like. Everybody's situation is different, right? So you might put your soil in a different container, but like I said, as long as you just have, your soil, you'll be fine. Just try not to touch the soil while we're doing the testing. With your hands specifically is what I mean, just because it can contaminate. So let's just get right into it to the first step. So on my end, I do not have a spoon, but you all should have a spoon inside your testing kit. It's a small little white spoon, and so use that to kind of scoop pretty much some of this soil here that you have your own soil and put it at the 1 mil mark. So it would be like around here, and I'm going to be putting my soil in there until the 1 mark. So that looks like about the 1 mark right there. Next step is you're going to put the barium sulfate powder into your testing tube. Again, like I said, I don't have the little spoon, so I am going to put a little bit of it inside the container. So that's about a spoon right there. Put it in there. So now you're going to be adding some liquid to it. So what you're going to be adding is pretty much the pH test solution. And so you're going to grab the pH test solution right here. It looks like a brownish color. It's way different than all of the other liquids that is in the testing kit. And so you are going to add that to the 2.5 millimeter mark here. So we're going to do that. And we're going to just squirt it in there. Like I said, 2.5, so we're going to add a little bit more until we hit that half mark. Let me make sure I'm correct. And boom, we got it in there. So let's cap back the pH test solution. And before I forget, make sure you kind of like lay everything out to where you can see everything. See all the labels. It gets really confusing when you don't know where things are at, right? And so just make sure you have all of the things that are in the testing kit out laid on the table and, organized in a way where you can understand where everything's at, because sometimes you could be putting the wrong solution in, since a lot of the bottles kind of look the same, and if you don't read carefully on the label, then you'll put in the wrong solutions. And then also make sure too as well that you keep track of your testing tubes. So after we're done with this, I'll let you know what to do, but on my end, I think it's really great to just label it, right? Like, so after we're done with this, just label what it is, so that way you don't get confused when all of them are laying out on the table and you can actually know what is what. We've already added the pH solution in here, and so what we're gonna do now is we're pretty much just gonna shake it thoroughly. I'd say at least shake it for at least 30 seconds. Awesome, boom. Once you're done with this, put it on the side. Put it on the side somewhere where it can just sit there and just chill for at least 5 minutes, okay? And then what I would suggest everybody to do is kind of write a little note to yourself, like on a piece of paper or something, and put it right next to the testing tube, or like get like a little post-it and just write what that test is, so that way you don't lose track of it. And so because when all of these tests are done and we check, sometimes it's hard to figure out what is what. So I'm actually just going to use a piece of paper because I actually don't have a post-it note on me right now. So I'm just going to write pH test. Then I'm just going to rip it out. Then here. Then I'm just going to put it like right next to the testing tube that I have. For the next step, you're going to be using this little device. And so this device is called the filtering device. And so what you're going to do is you're going to just unscrew the top part, the top green part. And it takes a minute to kind of unscrew, so it's totally normal if it takes a minute. All right, we're almost there, and boom. So now that it's unscrewed, what you're going to do now is you're going to check out this plunger. Again, like I said, this little part right here is called the plunger, and you'll see why in a minute. We're gonna just screw it out. Once you screw it out, what you're gonna do is you are basically going to grab your filter disc. And so your filter disc is gonna look like this. It's literally gonna say filter disc on top, and these little circle white pieces of filter paper. You're gonna take one of them. You're going to just put it into the tube, and your goal is to make it lay flat. So that's how it should look like. So it should be laying really, really flat, okay? So after that, what you're gonna be doing is you're gonna be putting 5 millimeters of soil in there. So what we're gonna be doing next is we're gonna be adding the N1 nitrate extractant solution. We hit that 1 millimeter mark. What we're gonna be doing next is P1 phosphorus extractant solution, and you're gonna put 0.5 in there. Put it to the 0.5, so right now you should be at 1.5 right now. Next one that you're gonna be putting is your potassium extractant solution. And what you're gonna be doing now is just squirting 0.5 millimeters. You should be at the 2 mark now. Done. Next step is going to be is you are going to basically remember the little plunger that belonged in here. So you're going to grab it again, and you're basically going to just put it in here, do it until it hits the water. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to shake it gently. Shake it gently for at least 30 seconds. Now that you have this, you're going to put it down. Find the nitrate reactant powder. Grab one of the clean, testing tubes, right? You're basically going to use this tube, and you're just going to dump it in there. Stop at the 1 millimeter mark. That's all we need. So if you do have the little small spoon, go ahead and just get a scoop of the N2 nitrate reactant powder, and then just put a spoonful of that into here. I am just gonna put in an estimate of what that spoon would be. After that, what you would want to do is you literally just put on the cap, push it in, and just shake about 10 seconds. And then after this, you're going to be letting it sit for 5 minutes. We're just going to go right into our next test, and our next test is going to be the phosphorus test. So when I say doing the same thing as earlier, I'm saying, adding your soil to the 0.5 mark on this tube. And then after that, again, like I said, you would take out the plunger, and then you would add in your soil and everything like that. You would add your soil, and then you would be adding your N1 nitrate extractant, and then you would be adding the P1 phosphorus extractant here as well. And for the N1, again, like I said, you'd be adding 1 millimeter of that. So basically just putting it up to the 1 mark on here. And then for the phosphorus extract P1, you'd be putting a 0.5. And then for that, the last part of it is you're going to be basically putting the K1 potassium extractant solution in here, 0.5 again. And then that's pretty much it. And then again, like I said, just put the plunger in there. Once you do that, just put the plunger in there, shake it again, and then just slowly, like I said again, put your finger on there, put it down a little bit. Once you do that, and then you screw on the cap, the green cap here, screw on the cap, and make sure it's like in a diagonal, position like this. And then you'll take off the cap. Once you do that, you're gonna basically do the same thing again. Take a different tube, a brand new tube, and dump out this liquid into the new tube. And then go on to the next step. The next step would be the phosphorus, which is the letter P, and that's the next test. What you would be doing is basically adding half a spoon of the P2 powder. So the P2 powder basically looks like this, and you would do, again, like I said, half a spoon, putting it inside the tube with all of the liquids and everything like that you got from the plunger, and then just shaking it up for at least 5 seconds, uncap the tube, and then pretty much put it on this chart here. You see, I don't know if you can see, but you see like the little circles here. You'd basically put it like that, and then putting this on top of it, and then looking at it from this view, and just looking down at it. Again, you'd be repeating the same steps of what we did earlier. Make sure everything's clean the way that you found it, so that way when you start the next testing, that everything's not contaminated, right? So like I said again, what you would be doing is putting just brand new, the soil that you already have, the sample, you would be putting new soil in there that hasn't been used yet, putting new soil in there, putting the N1, which is the nitrate extractant, putting it to the 1 millimeter mark, and then you would be putting P1 phosphorus extractant solution 0.5 into the tube here as well. Obvious, and of course, again, like I said, take out the plunger, right? Take out the plunger and then do it. And then you would be putting the K1 extractant, which is called the potassium extractant solution. You would be putting 0.5 in there as well. Again, same thing again. You're gonna put in the plunger again. Shake it for at least, like I said, for at least like 30 seconds. Shake it, and then once it's done, then you all the way push it down. And then you put the green cap back on again. Like I said, screw it all the way down. You unscrew it again. Boom, it's all good. You're gonna do the same exact thing. What you're gonna be doing, you're gonna be taking this chart here in your tube. So once you get that, that's your result. Just really appreciate everybody's time, and just hoping that everyone is having an awesome day. And like I said, please feel free to reach out to me at C as in cat, P as in Paul, HAM, M as in mom, at FFSJ.org.